Hey everybody, today I am making a Pinterest recipe called chicken macaroni casserole. I'm altering a few things. I'm making the recipe in half, so we'll see how all that turns out. This recipe is from food.recipes, so we'll check it out and see how it is. I have already started here down the stove. I have noodles going, and I substituted different noodles. I have rigatoni noodles that are starting to cook up, and I am not making the onions because I prefer to not have onions in my dinners. So I am starting out with the cream of chicken soup. I'm using 1 can of these. I will get that turned on so it starts to warm up. And then once it gets a little warm, I am going to be adding some cheese to that. And this is going to be the base for my casserole. Stir it all around. I got out my cheese. I'm going to use cheddar cheese. So let me put that up just a little bit so you can see me. I have my cheese here. I buy this cheese because it's a cheaper brand and it doesn't have a resealable bag. So I just put it in a Ziploc. That works. And let's see, I need a cup of cheddar in my sauce. Sauce is starting to get warmed up already. I wish I could get you guys to see all of that. My cream chicken soup is getting pretty warmed up now, so I am going to add about a cup of cheddar cheese to that. You can just eyeball it. I like a lot of cheese, so I'm just going to throw all of that in there, stir it up. I want the cheese to get all nice and melty so you guys can check it out. See how that looks there. You can see my noodles are boiling. And the cheese is melting, and I'm going to add half a cup of milk. I just want to add a little bit at a time to get that spread in. So when you're cooking, you know, everything doesn't have to be measured exactly. You can do things to your taste, whatever you prefer. Gonna add the rest of the milk in. Get that stirred up. Get it all incorporated so it looks like a nice cheesy sauce. Takes a little bit of stirring. Sometimes the milk is harder to get incorporated in. I want to make it nice and rich. It's looking pretty good. It smells pretty good too. I'm gonna check my noodles and see how they're doing. They're looking pretty good. I think they're almost done. I don't want to overcook them because I am going to be putting everything together and putting it into the oven. So if you overcook your noodles, then you cook them some more in the oven and they get pretty tough. So I don't want that to happen. And the sauce is coming together. Okay. I haven't really put any additional seasonings in it. I will add that later. But I think my noodles are done. So I'm going to take them over to the sink and drain them. Here are all the bubbles draining. So the noodles are ready to be added to the sauce, but I'm just gonna double check my recipe because I want it to be perfect. All right, this is all nice and melty right now. So I'm gonna turn that off. I'm gonna add in my chicken. I am using for chicken, they want cooked chicken breast chopped up. So I'm taking the easy way out. I order Schwann's every other week. And so I've got their already cooked diced chicken, and all I had to do was thaw it. So how easy is that? And now I'm gonna get my noodles, put my noodles in here, mix this all around a little bit. You know, I probably could have done less noodles. It's gonna be kind of noodly. Could have had some extra chicken, I think. But, you know, it is what it is. This recipe originally called for a different type of noodles, but I had these on hand, so I thought it would work, you know, okay. I'm gonna add some salt and pepper just to give it a little more seasoning. I like to use the ground pepper like this. It's one of my favorites. Plus it's kind of fun to twist. All right, so get this all put together like so. Mix it around. Get all those flavors going. I think I need to taste one just to see if I want to add any other seasonings like garlic salt or anything. I think my family's gonna like it just like this. So now I just need to go figure out what kind of a baking pan I want. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, so I decided to go with this for my baking dish. It's a dish that my husband brought into the marriage. And it's been in his family. I'm pretty sure this was his grandmother's dish. So, you know, when I use things like that, it makes me think of family and how awesome that you get to reuse things that your family used. I mean, his grandmother probably made casseroles in this too. Okay, my oven has been preheating to 350, so the beeping tells me it is ready for that. All right, I've got my noodles in there. And now, next, I'm gonna crunch up some crackers and put over the top of these. You don't have to do that, but it's gonna add a nice little crisp to the texture. What I'm gonna do to chop them, so I'm gonna put these inside of a Ziploc bag. Here, me and my Ziploc bags today, I've got a lot of them. And I'm just gonna crunch them up with my hand. You know, if you have of those food blenders or processors, and you can do that super quick. But this is just as quick, I think. Plus, I'm not dirtying up more dishes. So I have it all in here. I'm just gonna check my recipe to see, you know, sometimes I like to put butter in these crackers. But I'm looking it over, and the recipe just says a quarter cup Ritz cracker crumbs. It doesn't say anything about buttering them or anything. And I didn't use Ritz, I used the Alpha ones. So, let me do it over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right. Well, let's see if this works this way. Yeah, it's working. Just gonna pour them out over here. You know, I didn't even use the whole stack of crackers. You can always add more if that's what you prefer. But you know, I think I eyeball pretty well. And I've got it. So I have this. I am going to put it in the oven for half an hour. And then you take it out and voila. All right, let's do the voila. Oh, you can see my dog is smelling things. Watch out, Teeks. Let's get it in the oven. Watch out, it's hot, buddy. In the oven. 30 minutes. Setting the timer. 30 minutes. All right, we'll be back. I just took it out of the oven, and the cracker crumbs are all nice and browned up, so they look pretty good. And now I'm supposed to put a little bit of cheese on top and then put it back in the oven for about 5 more minutes. So I'm kind of leery about putting cheese on the top of the breadcrumbs because I don't want them to get soggy, but that's what the recipe says. So I'm going to put, it said a half a cup, but I'm really only probably doing just a quarter just to put a little bit. Because like I said, I don't know what it's going to do with these breadcrumbs. So I'm going to put it back in the oven for about 5 more minutes and we will check it out. I've got it out of the oven. It looks really good. Let me bring it closer so you can see it. There we go. Cheesy chicken noodles. All right, I'm gonna take a little taste of it so I can let you guys know. It's probably really hot, so here goes. It's pretty good. The crackers give it that little bit of a crunch, and then it has the nice creaminess with the creamy chicken soup in it and the cheese. So it's a pretty good dish. You can always add more spice to it if you want to kick it up a notch, but for me and my family, this is great the way it is. I'm serving it with some rolls and some asparagus, so makes for a nice quick dinner.